So because people are still talking about the death and murder of Charlie Kirk, I feel like I want to be the one to kind of be in the middle and try to represent what the vast majority of people agree upon. Just because there are Democrats and liberals who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk does not mean they represent all the Democrats and liberals. Likewise, there are people who are conservative Republicans who are blaming all Democrats and liberals for the death of Charlie Kirk do not represent all of the conservative Republicans. The vast majority of the people on the left has shown their respect for the death of Charlie Kirk and agree that what happened to him should not happen to anybody despite having political and moral differences. The vast majority of the people on the right not only agree that what happened to Charlie Kirk was evil and bad, but so were the other school shootings and other murders that happened throughout this country, and deserve to get just as much coverage as Charlie Kirk did. Just because it was a transgender who pew-pewed Charlie Kirk does not mean that they represent all transgenders, nor do they want to do the same thing to people similar to Charlie Kirk. Just because there are Christians who have shown hate and disgust for transgenders does not mean that all Christians will show hate and disgust for transgenders. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we live in a time where social media is the norm. People are constantly on their phones. And unfortunately, due to social media algorithms, the videos that get the most views and the most likes are usually the ones that are like from the extremist points of views. The videos of people on one side of the aisle screaming, cursing, saying horrible things to the other people on the other side of the aisle. The people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. The people talking about the people who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. The videos of people of attempting to destroy visuals of Charlie Kirk. And the videos of people beating the crap at the people who are destroying Charlie Kirk's visuals. And so on and so forth. We're constantly seeing that stuff all the frickin' time. And because we see that all the time, we think that's how the other side must think of us and how they react. Which makes everybody that's not like that quiet and scared to talk about their political differences because they think they're going to react in such a way. So this video is for the people who are the common sense rationals who are not extremists on either side of the political spectrum. The people who are the vast majority of the political side. You could be that person who didn't agree with anything Charlie Kirk stood for, represented, and still be a respectful person and be respected. You could be that person who stood for everything that Charlie Kirk stood for and still be that respectful person and be respected. We need to bring back the common sense, rational, open-minded people back to being the norm on our social media feeds. We need to ignore the extremist political posts on these apps and stop thinking that they represent the whole political party. In other words, we could be people who disagree about anything and still love and have respect for each other. That needs to be the norm. Let's make it the norm. This is my impression of the Rams long snapper trying to block the Eagles for the game-winning field goal. I'm legally blind, I can't see. Oh,
Trying to date in 2025 is basically just entering into a Cold War because you'll be like, hey, I really like you. And they'll be like, hey, I really like you. You're like, hey, let's go on a date. That sounds like a great idea. You go out on a date. After the date, you'll be like, hey, so actually, I realized that I really like you, like super like you. And they're like, oh, you super like me? That's weird. So I actually don't like you anymore. And you'll be like, wait, didn't you just say that you did like me and you went on a date and you had a really good time? And they're like, yeah, but then you said you super liked me. And because you super like me, I actually don't like you anymore. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess that sucks. I'm just not going to like you anymore. And then they're like, wait, actually, I really super like you. And you're like, whoa, you really super like me? I just super liked you. And they were like, yeah, I really super like you. And you're like, well, that's weird. I actually don't like you anymore. And then they're like, but didn't you just super like me? And they're like, yeah, but now you really super like me. And I don't super like you anymore. I don't even like you anymore. And they're like, but you just super liked me. And you're like, I'm sorry about it. And then they're like, oh, I guess I don't like you anymore. And then you're like, holy crap, wait, I really like them. But you don't say that to them. And then they're like, oh my gosh, wait a second, I actually really like them. So now you both really like each other, but you're just having like a staring contest because nobody wants to declare anything, because anytime that you say that you like them, they actually don't like you. And anytime that they say that they like you, you actually don't like them. So now you're just kind of in this like weird animalistic mating ritual where both people like each other, but nobody likes each other.
so I'll be famous, but I'll be homeless, and I'll make more money. How does that make any sense?
I brought her to the Lego movie a while ago, obviously, and we were in one row, it was her and I, and then 2 rows ahead of us there was a grown man that was there all by himself eating M&Ms out of a bag, that he had ripped the corner off of. He was sticking one finger in, rustling around, pulling out one M&M, and then eating it with his mouth open. So it was a lot of this during the movie. Finally, my daughter goes, "What are you wrapping presents up there?" And the guy turns around and he goes, "What?" And I can feel her body freeze, and I can hear her breath quicken. And she just goes, "Sorry." And then he looked at me like, "That's what I thought," and he turned around. So then I said to her, loud enough for him to hear, I go, "You don't have to apologize to him because you asked him a question, but he answered it with a question, and that's not how conversations work."
Did you not give me a race car bet in high school? It was high school. What are you talking about? She didn't give me a race car bet in high school. It was 100% high school. Yeah, she thought it was a good idea, too. She was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "I don't even care. Mom surprised me." Then she was like, "Surprise?" And I was like, "Oh, snap. This is stupid. You got me a race car bet in high school. Who the heck buys a 21-year-old a race car bet?" Just that, man. No, I couldn't even bring my friends over. They make fun of me. "Hey, preacher, how fast can you go to sleep?" I'm like, shut up, bro. You're corny. So annoying, man. I peed in that bed so many times. You have no idea. It was a lot. As a kid, I'm just saying. I used to pee in the bed a lot. I used to wake myself up and pee in the bed, and I would just go back to sleep. I'd be like, "Too late now." It's already out there. Can't take it back. So it's like,
the other day, this lady came up to me and she goes, "You have such an androgynous look." And I was like, "Oh, no, I like women." Because I didn't know what that word meant. That's not what that word means, guys. I had to Google it. It means a person that has both male and female characteristics. I was like, I don't know if I'm more mad that she's right or that I had to Google my own roast.
Pray none of my enemies hold me captive. I grieve different.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers.
Oh, no.
5 beers.
Oh,
6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
He's sauced. He's bummed.
No, I'm not drunk yet. I'm just getting started.
When they baptize you, what do they say? In the name of the Son, the Father, the Holy Spirit, dunk you under the water. I'm reading the Bible that Jesus got baptized. I was like, well, what did they say to him? There's like, you, your dad, and your best friend.
When you're 40, if you go to the doctor, guess what? They don't try to fix anything anymore. They just go, "Yeah, it starts to happen." They don't care. I went to the doctor because my ankle hurt. The doctor, he brings me and he shows me an x-ray of my ankle. He's like, "Yeah, your ankle's just worn out." I was like, "What do you mean? I injured my ankle?" He's like, "No, it's just now. It's like incurable ankle. That's it." And he goes, "Well, there's things you can do. You can stretch. For a half hour a day, you should stretch your ankle." I was like, "How long will that take to fix it?" He's like, "No, you just do that now. That's just a new thing you do until you and your ankle both die."
One time I get to church, 7 years old, there's a dead body in the front. It's a funeral. Nobody explains that to a 7-year-old Michael Jr. I'm thinking that's how they roll. Like every 3 weeks or so, they bring a dead body in as an example or something. And the dude on stage yell at everybody in the audience like they the ones that did it. I remember asking my grandmother, I'm looking for some explanation. I'm like, "Grandma, what happened to the man in the box? What happened to the man in the box?" Her whole explanation was, he in a better place. I'm like, what kind of box did he live in before?